Dennis Connolly, your den at the door in front of Sevastopol Combined School. Today is May 25th. It's a beautiful day. We're standing in front of the Genevieve Voigt Memorial Maple Tree. And today we're going to conduct a project with the fourth graders who are going to enjoy doing some interview technique. And this is Dennis Connolly, your den at the door, once again here at Sevastopol Combined School. And we're with a group of very advanced fourth and fifth graders and Mr. Mike Madden. Mike has been declared a very fine teacher at this school. He's won many awards for his expertise and his caring and his ability to teach kids in many ways and motivate them. Mike, it's certainly a pleasure to see you here in the library.
Thank you, Dennis.
My joy. Can you tell us a little bit about what we're going to do today, please?
We feel very special at Sevastopol to have a museum of birds and animals as part of our IMC and in many of the classrooms in the school. We have used grant money that we've gotten from various sources to have our collection grow and be used by many different parts of our school. It's used in the art department, it's used in the wildlife classes in the high school, and students in the elementary enjoy looking at them too, don't you? Yeah. So they're quite well used, and this collection started about 25 years ago, and it's grown an animal or two at a time. Many of them, such as this great horned owl up here, were the work of taxidermist Mike Orthaber. And Mike Orthaber was a graduate of Sevastopol, and he has gone on to be a world-famous taxidermist that is often going to Europe to judge other taxidermy work. You might have seen his work at the Door County Museum, for example.
Yes.
So we've been very fortunate to have his assistance here, and we have a neat collection of animals and birds we'd like to show you today.
So what he has done is he has collected these animals that either died in the wild or hunting fatalities by accident, and he has preserved them using the techniques of taxidermy, and I can see in a lot of very vivid, lifelike poses.
Yes, some of them are quite old pieces of work that were donated to school, and the fish were donated too, but most of the animals and the very nice looking birds were done by Mike. Wow. And right now we have an otter waiting in our school freezer to get done by Mike once we get it tagged by a game warden.
Well, as long as it's not served on the hot lunch program. And soon we're going to be interviewing the various students here, and they're going to be telling us about particular animals that have been preserved and made lifelike, and perhaps a bit about their habitat, and perhaps a bit about their diet and some characteristics. So this will be a very enjoyable, informative session. Right, Mike?
Yes, it will.
Thank you. And now we're here with our first example of one of these beautifully taxidermed animals by Mike. And your name, sir?
Connor.
Connor, good to meet you, Connor. And can you tell me about the lovely raptor bird that you have?
Well, its name is the American kestrel, and it can dive at speeds of over 50 miles per hour. It likes to eat large insects, and it's one of the smallest falcons to be seen. It likes to live on or perch on the wires, the telephone lines. Yep. And you can see on the female and the male, it has thin black streaks on its face, which is a distinct mark.
What a beautifully colored animal, don't you agree?
Yep.
And I bet you, Connor, if you went along the roads of Door County and looked up at the telephone and power lines, you'll probably see them. You may not recognize them right away because of their size, but you'll see them, right?
Yep.
Thank you very much. And your name?
Max Bly.
Max, man. And can you tell me about, this beautiful bird that we see frequently?
This is the blue jay, and 70% of what it eats is plant matter. It is about 11 inches long, and it weighs 3 ounces. This bird is found all over in Wisconsin.
Nicely done, Max. Beautiful bird, thank you. And I'm going to ask you guys actually to stand with your animals if you can, because my old back, all right? And would you stand? And what is your name?
Andrew.
Andrew, what is the beautiful, you have a couple of beautiful birds.
I'm doing the American goldfinch, and it eats the seeds of thistles and many other plants, and it nests in midsummer.
Very nice, and thank you very much. It's a lovely exhibit. Thank you. Your name?
Trevin.
Kevin, and what do we have?
This is the male indigo bunting, and this is the female. The male is in the sky. You can see a bright blue color when it flies across in April from Mexico and Central America. And the female here is browner and has some dusky streakings on her chest and some all over on her body.
So this again is proof that the boy birds are certainly prettier than the girl birds, right? Yes, indeed. Thank you. And shall we go to this table next? Sure. All right. And we have, these aren't birds anymore, are they?
No.
And your name?
Allison.
Allison. Hi, Allison. And can you tell us about the fish you have?
We have the yellow perch here. It is, it can adapt to any water, but it likes to be less than 30 feet depth. And it is about 6 to 10 inches, and it weighs about 6 to 16 ounces.
And good on Friday night, too.
Yes, it is. I
Yes,
had it.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Allison. Yes.
Hello, I'm Jordan.
Hi, hello, Jordan.
And I will be presenting the ruddy duck, or known as the bluebill duck.
Yes.
This chubby duck, it cannot walk on land and is known in Canada to South America. It's red. It's like rusty red. Has a black cap, 2 nice white cheeks, and a large bluebill.
Beautifully done. Thank you. And it likes to eat again?
It likes to eat like grass, worms, and
Beautiful animal. Thank you very much. Hello, and your name?
Karina.
Karina. Hello, Karina. Can you tell me about your bird?
Yes, I'm presenting the ruffed grouse, and as you can see on this model, the ruffed grouse flaps his wings. It does that to show its property, and, well, they also hunt this bird for its good meat.
And when it's flapping its wings and showing its property, is that also part of like a dance, do you think?
Yeah, the males do this for mating season, and when they flap their wings, it kind of sounds like a tractor starting up.
What fun, huh? Beautiful bird. Thank you very much.
Where are you going?
Hi, my name is Hunter, and
That's okay.
I'll be representing the great blue horn. Its main foods are insects, birds, small birds, fish, mice, frogs, and snakes. It migrates from here to Central America and Mexico. It's different from a crane because it flies with an S-shaped neck, and the crane flies with a straight neck.
They're beautiful animals. Have you seen them fly, or have you seen them at ponds?
Yep, it lives in my creek.
Oh, that's very fortunate to see them. Is he sort of a friend?
No, not. He's not a friend. He runs into our cars.
Oh, that's not good. And you having a Jayhawk shirt on, do you think he'd be frightened if he saw you live?
No, he'd eat them.
Okay, good plan, Hunter. Okay, thank you. And we're going to go to this table, and your name?
Miranda.
Miranda. Hi, Miranda. And what beautiful birds are you going to tell us about?
This is the downy woodpecker, and
Yes.
this is the yellow-bellied sapsucker.
Oh, my goodness, that's a mouthful, isn't it? Yes, okay.
Put those down on the table, perhaps.
This bird is a downy woodpecker. It, of course, likes to eat bugs. It ranges from Alaska all the way to the southern U.S. It has a high-pitched, whiny voice, sort of like a little brother.
Like Sanjaya? All right.
Yeah. and its habitat is in forests and many orchards.
Very nice.
This is the yellow-bellied sapsucker, and it takes after its name. It has a yellow belly.
Mm-hmm.
It feeds on the insects that feed on the sap in the trees.
Hence its name.
Yep.
Beautifully done. Thank you very much, dear. Thank you. And could you stand? Thank you. Is this a helmet you have?
No, it is not.
Okay, your name, sir?
Hi, my name is Hunter Schwartz, and I will be presenting the armadillo. Well, as you can see, it has a very hard-coated shell that protects it from enemies. Sometimes it can roll up into a ball and, well, protect itself. It also lives in the southern states, like, I don't know.
Texas.
Yeah, Texas.
Arizona.
Yep. And it also sometimes carries diseases. And if you're in some of the southern states, sometimes you can maybe hit one on the side of the road.
Right. Sometimes you'll see many of them, like, unfortunately, like we see deer up here. Very
Yeah,
much so.
or raccoons or possums.
So, have there ever been armadillo in Door County?
I have no clue, but
Probably
maybe.
not. But
Probably not.
maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Gotta say maybe.
Yep.
Good, thank you.
Yep.
All right. All right, excuse me. Good afternoon, and your name?
I'm Nora Finnerty. I'm in
Nora.
6th grade at Sevastopol.
Wonderful. And can you tell me about the beautiful animal you're presenting?
This is a gray fox. He is a nocturnal animal, which means he is asleep in the daytime and awake at night. The gray fox is usually about from 5 to 9 kilograms. He's in a pouncing position to come after his prey, a white-footed deer mouse. They are a very special kind of canine because they are the only canine known to climb trees. Their habitats are forest and marshlands.
Very good. Beautiful animal and nicely presented. Thank you. Hi.
My name is Clarissa, and
Hi, Clarissa.
and I will be presenting the chickadee. The
Lovely little bird.
The chickadee is a small bird and is found here year-round. This is one of my favorite birds since in the winter it comes to my feeder and eats sunflower seeds. It usually likes to eat berries, seeds, and insects.
Can you make a chickadee sound
Chickadee?
like that? Is that how they
Yeah,
sound?
they-
Chickadee? All
They
right.
just say their own name.
Very nice. Thank you very much. And we now have a beautiful woodpecker, one of the biggest, lovely woodpecker. And your name?
Ashley.
Hi, Ashley. And can you tell me about your specimen?
This is the biggest woodpecker in Wisconsin, and the wingspan is 19 to 20. I think it's to 26 feet, and it's pretty big. And the wood right here was made by a woodpecker, and you can see it's starting to do it again, and it usually eats insects.
It's a beautiful bird, isn't it? I mean, have you seen them live?
No.
Well,
Not
look
really.
around. I bet you look.
Yeah.
Listen for the real loud peck, peck, peck.
Yeah.
All right.
I've heard it by my house, but I've never seen
Yeah,
it.
it's beautiful. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
And we're just going to move this for a minute. Thank you. And our next person, your name?
Summer.
Hi, Summer. Can you tell me about the beautiful animal you have?
It nests above the Arctic Circle, and it eats mice and other rodents.
What can we call it? What would its name be?
The snowy owl.
Beautiful.
And it's a really magnificent bird. And all the kids, when they're in the library, they walk past and it looks like it's watching you and everything.
I bet it does. Their eyes are magnificent, aren't they? And so, have you seen them in Door County, Summer?
Not yet, no.
Okay. Well, keep watching in the wintertime.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Ooh, that's heavy.
It
Okay,
is.
turn around. That's good. And your name?
Samantha.
Hi, Samantha. And tell me about this beautiful little animal here.
Well, as you can see, I bet everyone knows the name of this. This is a beaver, and the tail is flat for its swimming. It swims very fast, and the web feet also helps it swim. And in the winter, it does not hibernate. It stays active all winter in its den that is underneath the water.
Is it all underneath the water or partly?
Yeah, partly.
Yeah.
And it eats what is stored up, and it is made out of wood chunks like this. And if you look closely, you can see the teeth marks of the beaver on both sides.
And they like particular kinds of woods more than others?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the teeth, they keep growing, so it has to keep on gnawing on things or else it will die because the tooth will get too long.
You know why what group of animals all have their upper teeth keep growing and lower front teeth?
Rodents.
Rodents, right. Very good. Thank you very much. Beautiful animal. Thank you. And we have one last very prickly little fellow, and I'm not talking about you.
Yeah.
All right, let's bring this guy up so we can all see. And your name?
Tyler.
Tyler, good to see you today, Tyler. Good.
The porcupine uses its quills in a very unique way. When it is confronted by its predator, the attacker, it will swat its tail and will what's the word I'm looking for now?
That's all right. That happens to me too.
Yeah. Okay, I'll skip that part. And
its quills become kind of erect.
yeah, they stick into the muscle, and
Yep.
as time passes, it'll get deeper into the muscle, and it makes it more difficult to extract them.
Do they have barbs on the end of
Yeah, they
these?
have barbs. That's why it makes it more difficult over time because they dig more in.
Yeah, there isn't
into the
any
muscle.
like poison in them though,
No.
is there? So it just causes irritation and infection. That's pretty good defense.
And it would really hurt.
Yeah. Do you know what animal has some historical similarity to the porcupine that also was talked about here?
Not really, no.
Actually, the armadillo, believe it or not.
Really? That used to have quills?
Well, their covering kind of evolved in different ways, but it's all cutaneous ectodermal covering. Pretty cool, huh?
Yeah, it lives in northern Wisconsin, so you could see some up here.
Yeah, how
maybe.
nice. Well, thank you for sharing the
thank you.
porcupine. Nice job.
Thank you.
And to follow up the porcupine discussion and its habitat and activities, we have a historical victim of a porcupine attack right with us today. And her name again is?
Samantha.
Now, Samantha, very slowly so everybody can know, can you tell us more about your encounter with the porcupine?
I was young, about 4 or 5 years old, and my mom did not notice. I was walking along the street with someone, and saw a porcupine. I was messing around with it, and two quills got stuck in my arm here, and I got stitches. So there's still stitch marks right here and here. So.
Well, that made you a wiser person, right? So you don't mess with porcupines anymore. Good plan. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And here we are again in one of the most exciting classrooms that I've ever witnessed. It's really a living classroom of Door County history. And we have that most exciting teacher, Mr. Mike Madden. And he's going to tell us a little bit about some of the decor and furnishings in this room.
So thank you, Dennis, for the compliments. I really feel strongly in creating an environment of learning. And one of the things I've been teaching for the last quite a few years is Wisconsin history. And one way I decided to teach it is to put the history in the children's hands. And on the back wall, I've created a little museum in my classroom. This particular area is logging tools, and we take the tools outside and use them. We cut firewood that we boiled down our own maple syrup with this year.
Wonderful.
And they all know how to use the two-person saw. We used to call it two-man saw, but I was corrected when the girls are using it. I've really enjoyed collecting these tools. Several of my friends have helped me collect them over the years, and I feel very fortunate to have preserved them and used them with my students.
So logging was a big part of Door County history for many, many years. From what period to what period, Mike?
Probably the height of the logging was in the 1880s. It probably had its beginning in the late 1860s and went into 1905 or something like that. Many of the towns were logged almost completely bare. We'll be going to Mayfest soon. Jacksonport used to be piled with cords and cords of wood that were shipped out in the spring.
So most of the wood, as far as I understand, either went as fuel for the Lake Michigan steamers or to help rebuild Chicago as well.
Yes, that's correct. And build the cities we have around here, too, in the buildings.
So most of the vegetation and the trees we see in Door County today are second or third growth kind of trees.
Almost all the county is second or third growth. Tofts Point in Bailey's Harbor has some of the old growth pine yet, if you want to see big pine trees.
My goodness.
And there's a few other spots in Newport and so forth that were missed by the loggers.
My goodness. It's wonderful, wonderful. And the next
The center
display
here is of tools used in the kitchen and in the house. And I like to call them tools because so many times people don't feel part of the homemaking things were as much part of the pioneer times, but they definitely were. For example, this was your washing machine. This is an agitator to use to get your clothes clean. And the students used several of these pieces when we made Cornish pasties this year, and we also made cranberry bread. So these are actually the most useful tools I have on the wall here. They get used the most often because we all like to eat.
What a great living history classroom. And that cleaver almost looks like it could have been used in the logging industry as well.
Yes, it was used by my in-laws. Many of these tools are from my in-laws' family.
My goodness, what a great collection,
yes.
Great collection.
And this last panel is of tools of the agriculture use, and we read the Laura Ingalls Wilder story, Farmer Boy. And many of these tools come to life in that story, and I can take them down from the wall and actually show the implement to the students. And many students don't know what this is anymore. I think many people who lived in Door County used these in their youth. This is a cherry pail and a buckle you wore around your waist. So that's an antique now.
Yes, marvelous. And there were scores of them around, and they've disappeared.
Yes. In this corner of the classroom, we have a wigwam, and my student Angel would like to tell us about it.
Hi, Angel. How are you?
Good.
Are you truly an angel?
Sometimes.
Sometimes is good. And tell us about the little habitat you have here.
Well, Mr. Madden made this for us, and it's made out of white birch, and it's tied with basswood, and the branches come from a maple tree, and it was a really great thing for Mr. Madden to build. And we go in here for when we get sick or we need a quiet place to read. And it's a really great place to read.
What a great, thoughtful teacher he is, huh? Tying the history with comfort and the reality of how the native people could have lived here.
Yeah.
And the different woods, do you know why those different woods were used for different, like the birch bark and like the basswood and like the maple? Perhaps different characteristics. The birch bark was good at sheets and shedding the water.
Yeah.
And the others bent well or had certain strength or could tie up easily?
Yeah.
Okay. Very good.
And I have someone special in here.
Yeah.
Hi, my name is Joanna.
Hi, Joanna.
And this is a nice place to read.
And you're certain, what are you reading, Joanna?
50 simple things kids can do to save the earth.
Let's all work together to save the earth.
Yeah.
Good.
And this is my friend Joanna. She helped me. She asked me if she could help me with it, and I said yes. And she's a great person to work with.
Well, we're lucky to work with both of you today. Thank you very much. Thank you.
And I have one more thing. Joanna, she doesn't want to do this part, so. Okay, I would like to tell a little bit about Mr. Madden.
Yes.
He's a great teacher, He stayed here for 35 years, and it was really great. And I think he was the best science teacher I ever had.
You're all very fortunate, and that was very well put, Angel. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Good. We have one other good person to talk with today. In front of this modern computer, we bring a modern young man forth he's going to tell us a little bit about the squirrels of Dora County. Okay. And your name?
Nick.
Hi, Nick. Speak up a little bit, Nick.
Okay.
And face the camera, it'd be nice.
This is the fox squirrel. Mostly around Dora County, we have the gray squirrel and the red squirrel. The fox squirrel lives mostly around Kewaunee County and has a diet of mostly insects, bird eggs, and nuts. And it will live in almost any open area that has nut-producing trees. And it can grow to 10 to 15 inches long.
It's a beautiful little animal,
Yes,
right?
it is.
And would they ever come up to you and eat, do you think, if you had some nuts or popcorn?
Probably not.
Probably not. They're a little shy.
Yeah.
Very nicely done, Nick. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Good.
We have one more student that would like to show us a little bit about some tools used in the
Excellent.
ice industry in the past.
Excellent. And let's ask you to, you can stand by the table. And what is your name?
Sam.
Hi, Sam. Good to see you, man. And I should have known that, right? Yeah, all right. Sam, how about if you can slide that over just a little bit? Is that heavy to lift up?
I can lift it.
I'll help you, Sam. But you better stop when it hits my body, okay, Sam?
Okay.
All right. So tell me about this beautiful implement, Sam. And this was used in the ice industry in Dora County.
It was used quite a while ago. They would use this to cut big ice chunks into cubes so they could load it. And once they were all cut, they would use this ice tongs to take the ice cubes, and they would open it and pick it up and put it out of the hole.
Okay. And why was that ice industry so very, come on up here, Sam, please. Why was that so important for Dora County and the rest of America and the area around us?
Because there was so much ice here that we needed to get rid of some.
You think?
And yeah,
All right.
it's pretty much all ice probably, so.
You know, there's some jokes like that. But anyway, do you think it could be about refrigeration and the need to refrigerate things? Like in the summertime, do you think they had ice still in the summertime before electricity?
No.
Actually, they did.
Oh.
And what they would do is they'd make things called ice houses, which were very thick warehouses, real thick walls. And they would take that ice that you showed us how they harvested it in big blocks, and they'd put it on the floor, and they'd put sawdust, and they'd put hay over it, and then more ice and more sawdust. And that kept it cold and kept it from thawing entirely all summer long until the next winter. And it was necessary for preserving food, and it was necessary, dairy industry and cheese industry was big here, for preserving the dairy products on their way to market. They would put it in railroad cars and on wagons, and most people would have something called an ice box, which was an old-fashioned refrigerator that everything cooled by having a block of ice in it. So thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Sam has one more thing he'd like
Sam,
to show you.
Nice.
And this is, well, I'll let you tell about it, Sam.
This is the ice loader, which when they had it off, they would put it on here, and then a person would hold it right here, and then a person would pull it by the rope, and it was good for that because then they didn't have to stand behind the ice if it would get slippery or anything. And my dad actually brought this in from my grandpa's farm. That's where he found it.
How wonderful. Good. So which would you like to have been? The guy who used the saw, or the guy who used the tong, or the guy who pulled the rope?
The rope.
The rope man.
Yeah.
All right, good. Well, kind of management position, huh?
Yeah.
Good.
Dennis, this
Thank
is
you.
something I didn't know what it was when it was brought in, but I actually got to talk to a friend of mine, Leonard Krieger, who mentioned that his father's foot was badly injured loading the ice because he was behind the ice block pushing it up on a plank. And this was an instrument that would prevent somebody from standing right behind the block of ice while you were loading
Side.
it.
Nice, good. Invention is a necessity, isn't
Yes,
it?
and I was tickled when Sam's dad brought it in.
Well, thank you very much, Sam. Pleasure. And so concludes a great adventure into history and taxidermy and the habitats of Door County animals as presented by this fourth grade class. And with Mr. Mike Madden, I understand this is your final year of teaching and sharing your experience with the Sevastopol children. They're all going to miss you, as evident by their discussion and their feelings. And what's in the future for you?
Well, I still plan on doing some things with education. I'll be volunteering at Whitefish Dunes and the Crossroads, and I'll be working with a foundation called Raybrook Foundation, which I will hope to support educational endeavors in Door County with. And I'll always be working with kids. I enjoy working with scouts and other groups like that.
What a rich, valuable experience this has been. What a wonderful classroom. I wish I could go back and enjoy it with your teaching. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for coming. Sevastopol really is a great place to be.
Yes, evident. Thank you.
Thank you, Samantha.
Great, nice job. And there's so many exciting activities going on here at Sevastopol School. We're in the gymnasium currently, and they're just breaking down from a very adventurous educational activity at the end of the year, their annual science fair. Most of the exhibits are being broken down, but some of the finest ones are still standing, and we have, by good information, probably one of the most sophisticated displays of the science fair behind us. And the young lady who did this work, your name please?
Hannah.
Hannah, good to meet you, Hannah. And so all the viewers can see, can you tell us about the work you've done and the experiment and what you found?
Well, mine was more of a research project, but it actually came from the idea of homeopathy, which is a type of medicine where if you put medicine into water, and you dilute it to the point where there's no physical trace of the medicine left, that the water memory will actually be able to use the water as it's still a medication form. So I researched this guy who actually looked into it a little more, and he looked at the water crystals according to whether you put words on water or you talk to water or something. And the pictures, if you said something positive to it, it turned into a beautiful picture, and if you said something negative to it, it turned into a negative picture. So I took his experiments and I kind of reformed it, and I did it into flowers. And as you can see, with this one, I wrote words like, "You fool, I will kill you, you make me sick" on it, and it didn't grow that much. And I watered it with the water that has the same words on it. And then on this one, I wrote words such as angel, gratitude, peace, and love on it. And I watered it with the same water that has the same words on it, and it grew to be a lot bigger than this one.
Now, when you selected these plants, was there any physical difference between the plants?
No, they looked exactly the same.
And would it be of benefit, do you think, in the future to perhaps take 3 plants of each variety and then, or a greater number of plants, and then try your experiment again and then compare the 2 groups?
You could, but like I said, it's a research project, so I'm pretty sure some of the data would just come out exactly the same.
But as you probably know, whenever you do research, the greater the sample size, meaning the greater numbers, the more probable that the outcome will be correct.
Yes.
or interpreted correctly.
Yes.
Well, this is wonderful. So the water came from the same source,
Yes.
but you have negative words. And so what have you learned about being positive in life?
Well, since you're made up of over 50% of water your entire life, I kind of need to be more positive towards things because it will affect us definitely in a great way because like it changes your water. So if you want to be a negative person, it's going to change you in a negative way. And that's kind of what this is saying, like everything kind of has a ripple effect, and if you want to be happy and love, it'll go out into global salvation, and if you want to just be hateful all the time, it'll go out into global disformities. So you just got to choose.
So basically your experiment and your conclusions from the experiment are really very thoughtful, that not only did you look at the biology or the botany of things, but you're looking at personal effects of positive or negative activity or thinking, and then how it affects your friends and how it affects the town and how it affects the world.
Yes.
Beautifully done, and I thank you for not only your experiment, but your positive philosophy. Thank you.
Thank you.
We're wrapping up our session here at Sevastopol Science Fair. As you see, we have some of the very studious students around me and behind me, and what we'd like to do is basically find out what your greatest impression of going to school here at Sevastopol, how you enjoyed the science fair, and cap it with one of the finest teachers, so you can identify them for the viewing audience. Mr. DQ, what's your name?
Jeremy Wheat.
Yeah, and can you tell me about your impressions of the science fair?
Well, we all worked really hard on our projects, and we had a lot of fun on them. And we just kind of told everybody what we did and how they came out, and just kind of told them what we thought was right about our projects.
Excellent. So, and teacher who influenced you greatly for the science fair?
Mr. Madden.
Very good. He impresses me the same way. And your name?
Jenna Kugler.
Jenna, and your impression of the science fair?
I love the science fair. It's a great experience. It's a good learning experience. The atmosphere is awesome.
Excellent. And one of your favorite teachers?
Mr. Madden, I'm going to have to say.
Well, I'll give him a vote too. He's getting a lot of votes. And your name?
Wolfie Arnold.
Hello, sir. And what was your impression of the science fair?
Everyone looked like they had a lot of fun. Nothing was boring this day. Nothing was bad.
Good. And so you have the positive energy and the water behind and with you. May the jug of positive water be with you.
Okay.
Thank you. And your name?
Riley Sawyer.
Hey, Riley. And so the science fair really impressed you as well, obviously. And what was your favorite exhibit?
All of them.
That's that's safe, isn't it? And one of your favorite teachers?
Mr. Rainier.
Very good. He's a cool guy, isn't he? I met him before. Thank you. And we already talked with you. And your name?
Jason.
Jason. And what did you enjoy most about the science fair? Nobody said anything about the egg smashing.
Yeah, that was my favorite.
I would have thought so. I looked at you and thought egg smashing would be. Tell me about what the egg smashing was all about.
Well, they made like a wooden torpedo and then something like a torpedo, and then they put like eggs and made something less than a certain amount of.
Yeah, was it basically to test what different resistance different kinds of containers would have against the impact of a weight? And was there one that won?
I don't know.
Okay. And one of your favorite teachers?
Mr. Madden.
All right, he's the man. All right, and we've enjoyed being here and all these bright-eyed leaders of the future here at Sevastopol, and may the positiveness of this experiment and the positiveness of that water spread out to the community, carried by all these great people, and perhaps positively affect the rest of the world. Thank you very much.